Yeah, he hit it with both ends, and there's going to be, I think, some substantial suspension damage there on that 32 truck.
Just got a little bit loose, got sideways, had to chase it up the hill. A lot of times you can get away with that if you have a 60-foot wide racetrack.
Oh, sliding around. It's the 51 of Justin Johnson. And contact with the inside wall. Great finish at Phoenix a week or 2 weeks ago.
Got his left sides down on the flat of the racetrack. Remember, that looks like raceable surface down there. It's the apron. Basically, it's banked a lot less.
Udo was down on the bottom of the racetrack. He knew if he went down there, he would have problems. Oh, up into the wall is the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. He makes contact once again with the wall.
Yeah, he had made contact with Parker Kligerman, and now we got Jason White in a 23 and Joey Coulter in a 22, and they make hard contact on the back straightaway.
6 caution comes out.
And I think that was the aftermath of Nelson Piquet Jr. getting into the wall.
The first incident where the 8 hits the wall. Now watch behind him. Jason White already sideways coming out of 2.
Joey Coulter in the 22 tried to check up. He gets sideways, and they end up hitting each other, getting together at the bottom of the racetrack.
Saw a bunch of sparks before that truck went into the outside wall. It makes you think that maybe he cut down a right front tire, broke something on the right front suspension.
Hornaday was just able to drive that thing down into turn 3 and 4.
Ricky Carmichael into the wall coming out of turn 4. The field spreading. We've got a problem behind him too. It looks like 2 trucks maybe slapped the wall. Oh, and hard hit by Johanna Long as they crossed the stripe. Also involved was the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr. It was Nelson Piquet Jr. that hit the wall, and then Johanna Long looked like she cut the right front tire on Nelson Piquet Jr.'s truck.
Taylor Malsom does an incredible job avoiding Ricky Carmichael. See, Ricky tries to keep the truck up against the outside wall.
Her tire was down right there. I think that's why we started seeing the sparks.
You know what? Let's ride with Ricky Carmichael and just get a sense of. That's why I said it was easy. Take a look at this in the back of your screen.
Yep. Look at the right side there. It looks like the right front tire went down for Donnie Leah. But again, we don't know if there may have been some contact with the outside wall.
Same tires leading the race. The caution flies. These guys all come to pit road.
And problems. Mario Gosling gets into the wall. He collects the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. Now back down the racetrack. Let's make sure that he doesn't get into the path of any of the other drivers. He stays clear, but hard hit to the inside wall for Ricky Carmichael as well.
Just a wrong place at the wrong time.
Hit for Ricky Carmichael. He got clipped right in the right rear quarter panel, and it just turned him.
See, Mario just got loose getting down in the corner. Tries to keep it up against the wall, but he clips the right rear quarter of Ricky Carmichael's truck and turns Ricky just about head on into that wall.
And Ricky makes more contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, by this time he has no brakes. He probably broke a brake rotor when he hit the outside wall. There's Mario, gets into the outside wall, and then watch him just clip the corner of that truck and puts him at least at a 45-degree angle anyway.
Position.
What about Peters? He drives around Hornaday, grabs the 2nd spot.
Oh, problems right behind him. The 7 of Lofton gets into the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Wow, a lot of damage to that 5 truck of Mike's as well. You see.
Yep, just what we thought. He was down on the inside.
Brian Eichler. Remember, there's a little bit of history with those 2 drivers from maybe from last weekend.
Well, Eichler, in my opinion, didn't do anything wrong last weekend, and I don't think he did anything wrong there.
81 of David Starr.
This is the same truck that they had that day at Dover, and there's Eichler into the wall hard this time. He will definitely come to the pits now, and that should bring out a yellow.
Yeah, that was inevitable. You knew that was going to happen. I hate the spotter. The team didn't. You can see he drives down into turn 3. The right front tire goes flat. It puts him into the outside wall. You know, he was 2nd, this 18 truck.
We are confused, but we know that. But oh no, crash.
Shane Meal.
Shane Meal having problems. Hank Parker Jr. getting caught up in the number 21. We hear radio communications from his team asking if he has a flat tire.
A lot of body damage. That was Steve Meal, you mentioned.
Oh, we brought him down slow, Rick.
Oh, problems! Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets spun around. Bobby Hamilton Sr. takes over the 2 spot, and problems behind them. David Rudeman hitting very hard into the side of the 59 of Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Casey Kane was spinning the tires again. You see him wiggle a little bit, and Bobby Jr. laid off it from some reason. I don't know if he backed off or maybe he spun the tires, but Bobby Sr., wow, hard contact from David Rudeman. Remember, David had that hard crash at Atlanta a few weeks ago. But so great that the safety devices that NASCAR has implemented does so much for these drivers.
Rudeman got out of his truck and into the ambulance on his own power. it is.
Yeah.
Bobby Jr. missed a shift.
Looks like he missed a shift, and Bobby Sr. had no way to avoid that. But what hard contact again. That's a second hard hit for
There's
David.
Ruttman making a pass. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We talked about how narrow that track was. Joe and Coy made contact coming off turn number 2.
And that will bring out caution for the second time.
Track's clear.
And that great one in Daytona. Here's what happened a moment ago over in turn 3.
The 81 truck of Jonathan Price just ran in the back of Billy. Billy backed off there to try to get off that corner. Ran in the back of him. There's Randy McDonald caught up in it with nowhere to go. Tough break for all 3 of these guys.
Randy McDonald had a top 15 run in Daytona. Bill Lester would have had a top 5 or 6 72 for the 6th time.
See him right there. Jonathan Price looked like he got into the outside wall, and Larry Gunselman had nowhere to go and ran into the back of him.
So heavy damage. It's it right. It pulls out right in front of the leaders, and then this happens going into the turn.
That's Steve right there. That was his spin. He's going to hit the inside wall right there a little bit. There's some damage. You see the hood bow up.
See, there's the 50 truck of Chalk Hassfeld. There's Ted Musgrave in the 1 truck. You see a little bit of a chain reaction deal right there. The 46 of Dennis Setzer got into the 51 of Donnie Neuenberger, and that turned him up in front of these guys, and that's where all the damage came from. But it was a chain reaction deal that started that, and some pretty significant contact.
Of Roper, we saw the damage. They just started back in turn 3 and 4.
Just definitely a right front went down. Why that occurred, if he had made contact with the wall before that, we don't know.
And that's the replay. We'll take coming at you.
Oh, just trying to squeeze up and grab that spot, and just not enough room.
They're coming through turn 3 and headed into turn 4.
Austin Wayne Self in the 22, and then just gets loose. Brian Truex squeezed into the hole that wasn't quite there, but he was committed, and that turned the 15 around, and most everybody makes it by, but he just goes low and swept up.
Yeah, at that point, Timmy Hill had no option. So the night is complete for Tanner Gray, as boy, Ogata with a big hit.
Yeah, he got hit, probably slowing down. He got hit from behind. See if we can see it here.
These 2 guys got in the inside wall, and that guy had nowhere to go.
Oh, man, that's hard.
Row for the restart. Oh, and the 2 KBM trucks, big contact. The 17 of David Gilliland in that as well. Austin Hill goes around.
And they're still piling in.
Zane Smith, another good truck in that 21. Heavy contact. Row outside. Corey Heim, front row inside.
Yeah, it's just hard to say what was happening behind them, right, Greg, with all the pushing?
It's so hard. You got those brand new tires. I think that the top 4 that stayed out just couldn't get the power down, and I think that everybody just started pushing.
And you can see the 16's into the back of the 4, and that turns him maybe. See John Hunter correcting to the left and right, trying to keep control, and they just come together.
I think Friesen was on the back bumper of Corey Heim, and maybe Friesen was getting some help from behind from the 99 of Ben Rhodes.
Look at Johnny Sauter in that 13 truck. He slips by, and then after that, the track is blocked.
Dawson Cram involved in that. Chandler Smith.
Grant Enfinger.
Yep.
That looked like Talladega.
Third,
agree more.
Hocevar challenging, and the 75 of Kligerman and the 52 of Friesen. And the caution is out again. Third row back.
Oh, he lost a right front tire. Right, Biff?
Yeah, it looked like it. The truck made a massive turn to the right immediately. So I'm guessing that's what happened.
Probably a little bit of damage from the accident, possibly, and the tire just cut right away.
Yeah, no chance for Kligerman. Yeah, you saw the smoke.
Look at Jordan Anderson slipping through in that 3 truck. Paying tribute to Mark Martin and Larry McReynolds in the 3 truck, and there you see Jordan up to 6th spot.
Well, a lot of drivers were able to avoid contact there. Well done.
Yeah, Reed in the 24.
Yep.
Those guys did
just squeak by.
Those guys did a great job getting through there.
I'll tell you what, when you execute a restart like Ben Rhodes did, and the caution comes out right after it, and you think, oh good, I get to do that again. That's a challenge that is really tough to meet.
18 drivers were involved in that previous accident. Fortunate that only a couple were involved in this one, because we brought out the caution. There you see contact with the 45 of Darnell.
Does she have a tire going down maybe?
She looked awful slow.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the right front was going down, and so that was the result.